you guys. So, I'm just gonna go live early because I'm not gonna spend my day doing this. I genuinely just don't have time, and personally, it doesn't benefit me in any way to, like, keep going around and around and around with people on social media because, frankly, I don't give a shit. I mean, days like today make me remember why I don't go out to the kill pen and why I made it very clear to Jacob that I just have way, way better things going on in my life than this mess. So basically, people are stupid, and I want so badly to like people, and most days, 6 out of 7 days out of the week, I absolutely love people. My life is full of, like, happiness and joy and just everything amazing. As you can tell, I literally just got back from hot yoga, and I'm soaking wet. I literally have been at hot yoga, and so I'm just gonna sit on my chair up here because I literally have been at hot yoga, and I feel like my makeup is like, I did my makeup and I had my hair curled, and I put my hair in a high ponytail and went to hot yoga. Had an amazing day. Absolutely been just terrific. And then I come home and I have, like, inbox messages full of messages from crazy women telling me what a compulsive liar I am because the horse was infected. First of all, let's talk about something, which is that the night that the horse ran, at that point there was not any in and outgoing quarantine the night that the horse ran. The day that he hauled in and raced and hauled out, there was no reason for concern. A filly that raced that night was claimed and moved to a barn, and 5 days later she exhibited symptoms. So, meaning that she came from the haul-in barn, that doesn't necessarily mean that she contracted it from there. The truth is, from the point that she was claimed, she had to go to the test barn. Just, you know, just, there's a lot that plays into, like, a horse being claimed and being moved from barn to barn to barn and things like that. So, anyway, long story short, somehow in the process of her racing that night, her getting claimed, and her going to another barn, she contracted the non-neurological strain of EHV1. What pisses me off about this is there were over 50 horses in the receiving barn that night, him being one of them. Didn't belong to us, didn't even know anything about the horse at this point. We just picked him up at an auction, and I am going to say I'm really tired of, like, beating around the bush and trying to be careful of everything I say because everybody misconstrues it. Jacob is my boyfriend. I live with him. Every dime that he makes, I have access to. I mean, he spends my money, I spend his. The only thing that doesn't happen is I can't donate their money back to them, so I created outside sources of income so that I have means to donate money to horses that I feel like saving. Man, I'm just really sick of the bullshit. Like, I'm so sick of the bullshit and the lies. Like, days like today just make me, I just feel bad for these women. I'm not even really mad. Like I said, I went to hot yoga, and I'm currently, like, if you've ever been to hot yoga, you know when you leave there, you kind of have, like, this, like, I don't know, like, where you've sweated. I just want to get in the shower. I want to get in the shower and exfoliate my legs so I can go get my spray tan on. That's what I want to do with my day. There were 50 horses in the receiving barn that night besides him. They are not testing the other 48 horses. They tested the mare because she's in a separate barn and they've isolated that barn. But she didn't exhibit symptoms till 5 days later. So technically, if he is in danger of being exposed and he can cause all of these issues, why are they not testing the other 48 horses from that barn? What about the other 48 horses? We just don't test those. We just don't worry about those. The truth is, they're going above and beyond to test this one horse in particular because of all this media, like, social media stuff going on. And what it is a dog got a bone and ran with it. Like, one of these ladies, for the first time in her life, actually stumbled across something that she could potentially cause an issue with, and she's doing everything she can to cause an issue. And I'm fine with it. Like I said, they've tested the horse. He tested negative. He's currently in quarantine. What I genuinely think is that the women were hoping, one, that he was exposed to every horse in the kill pen, and he wasn't. He was isolated to a set of pens that are just for thoroughbreds off the track. Boy, that sure burst their bubble, didn't it? Because the truth is, the state kind of gives two issues at that point. This is the predicament that they put every single one of those thoroughbreds in. So when they started all of this, the horses can either direct ship, all of them, or they can be sold, isolated, and quarantined. So that's the option that the lot chose, was to go ahead and to honor the sale of the horse to the new home, and the lot paid for the testing procedures and to have the horse quarantined. The state vet was out again yesterday to just re-monitor the temperature taking. What pisses me off about it is it's like no big deal. Like on our end, nobody's even remotely concerned about it. Like nobody's upset about it. Nobody's like, it's just not a big deal to us. Like if the horse happened to come down and be positive, every single horse that he's been around there at the pens just direct ships to slaughter, and they still get money for them. So it's not like, to the kill pen, it's not like a life or death situation. It's not like if he tests positive, they're going to lose money. Like, if he tests positive, him and like the 10 thoroughbreds that stand within 20 foot of him, they all just direct ship to slaughter. That's what happens. So, just in case y'all are wondering what happens if they're positive, they don't put them to sleep and bury them, they direct ship them. They just go straight to slaughter. That's what happens. So, all of the nonsense isn't hurting anybody. All of the lies and the social media, like there's just one group of women, and they just like are so convinced that this dog has a bone that they're gonna just keep running with it, and there's nothing to talk about. Like, the horse raced on a night that 5 days later a horse from the same barn tested positive for the non-neurological strain. That filly had also been in other barns besides this one. None of the other 48 horses that were in the barn the same night as him are being tested. None of the horses from the training... He was at a training center before he sold at auction for almost a week and a half. They're not testing any of the horses at that training facility. So if this was like a life or death, oh my God, something like catastrophic has happened, like these women are making it out to be. One, they need to test the other 48 horses from the receiving barn that night, and they need to test everything on the training center that this horse came from. And they need to contact every person who bought a horse at the auction that he sold from, and let every single person know that they bought a horse from an auction, and there was a horse there that was potentially carrying HV1. Unfortunately, that's not been done. Maybe it should be. As of right now, there's no reason to believe that needs to be done. Nobody believes it needs to be done because this horse tested negative. He's not exhibited a fever, and he's not exhibited symptoms. So, current situation is he doesn't appear to have anything wrong with him. He doesn't appear to have been exposed, and he doesn't appear... Why did y'all buy him from the sale barn and how... Oh, he was bought at the sale barn a week ago. From today. On a Wednesday, I think. I don't know. I don't have the records on that. He was bought a week ago. I know that he went online a week ago on Wednesday. He went on social media, so he was probably purchased that morning. And he had been at the training center from December 29th for a week. He had been at the training center. So he raced that night. 48 other horses exposed to the same air he was exposed to. Hell, what about the horses that raced in the race with that filly? I mean, they went to the saddling paddock into the test barn with her. You know, they're not testing any of those. So the outbreak is pretty much under control. They think they have an idea of exactly how it happened. The way that these things happen, it happened in El Paso a year ago. We didn't have any horses anywhere near El Paso at the time. And I think it happened in Arizona, and it happened now in New Orleans. Basically what it's from is I think it's airborne from what I understand, but I'd ask a lot of questions and not got a ton of answers because I don't really think they know how it's being spread. I'm going to say that, like, at the racetracks it gets spread because, like, in the mornings when everybody works their horses, they're all out there lathered up and sweaty and foamy froth. So if you have one that contracts it, it's not super hard for it to get spread at a racetrack because of the amount of horses. It's like anything else. But, I mean, this is just pretty much proof that the kill pin isn't really necessarily the problem. People all the time want to talk about horses going through the kill pin like the kill pin is the problem. Anywhere that large numbers of horses gather is a problem. Sale barns are an issue because lots of horses from all over come there. Racetracks are an issue because a large number of horses from all over come there. Every year during some of the major events at Oklahoma City, after the major events, they have strangles and they have upper respiratory infections. As a veterinary, it can happen anywhere, certain horses as a carrier for it. And so an outbreak can happen at any time. It can be spread by, I'm sorry, Jean, it cut off to where I can't see your, it can't see from where it says it's spread by. From there down, the comment is cut off. So kind of what we run into is that as much as, it's alarming to hear that a horse ended up at the kill pen that may or may not have been exposed, like she said, the truth is every single horse at every racetrack has been exposed to a horse that's a potential carrier. That's basically what I was told. So every single horse that's been to any major event, any sale barn, any kill pen, any racetrack, or anywhere that a large number of horses gather, the truth is that in that large number of horses that gather, there's a potential for all kinds of outbreaks, from strangles to upper respiratory infections, EHV1. So I don't think anybody is too alarmed. Like, the state vet kind of said in the beginning, like, okay, so we're getting a lot of calls, we're getting a lot of emails, we don't have reason to believe this horse needs to be tested. We would like to test him to put these people's mind at ease. Is that going to be an issue? And immediately, Jacob's response was, absolutely not. Please come out. We want to reassure not only, anybody that, here's the deal. If this horse happens to test positive, everybody at the training center needs to be notified. Everybody that sold a horse at that sale, everybody that bought a horse at that sale, everybody needs to be notified. So there was potentially about 2,000 horses prior to him coming to the kill pen that this horse could have come in contact with between the training center and the sale barn. The good news is the horse is tested negative for the neurological and the non-neurological strain at this point. There is no cause for concern. There's no reason to believe that he is a carrier or a current infected horse. So we chose to quarantine him. I think that the state published the article that included him in the quarantine to try to put these women's mind to ease. But instead of it putting these women's mind to ease and them going, okay, well, they've tested him, he's negative, but he's currently in quarantine for evaluation over the next 10 days, they chose to take that article and be like, see, we told you. You didn't tell anybody anything. All you said was the horse raced, he could potentially have been exposed. So we chose the safest route, which was to just have him tested to debunk everybody's, speculation. And it didn't put anybody's testing him and publishing that he had been tested and that he was negative, put nobody's mind to ease, because these women are now circulating the article like crazy. And that's fine. It's no problem. I just want you guys to know from me, it's annoying more than anything, just because I realize that there's a lot of people that aren't educated and don't understand, and these women, when they say something, people just automatically assume it's true, or they just assume that they need to be alarmed, you know, there's cause for alarm, and the truth is there's not. There's just no cause for alarm. The horse has been tested. He's been negative for the neurological and non-neurological strain. He's currently in quarantine. He's also being evaluated for 10 days. He has a couple of days left where they are taking his temperature twice a day, and that's all we can say. I mean, and here's the thing, any horse at any time can potentially cause an outbreak because they're carriers. It lays dormant. You might have a horse in your backyard that potentially can be the next, you know, carrier or cause for issue. So it has nothing to do with price tag, where the horse came from. Unfortunately, a horse at the fairgrounds had to be put to sleep because he carried the neurological strain. They put him to sleep. I believe there's a handful of other horses in quarantine that have the non-neurological strain. With all of that being said, there's just nothing to worry about. Like, the state came out yesterday just to retake his temperature themselves personally. No fever, no symptoms. Everything appears to be fine. Don't really understand current situation, unsure of what all the drama is about. Like, what's all the drama about? Like, do you guys not have anything else to occupy your time? I'm just unsure what makes somebody wake up and go, hey, I think today I'm going to cause a lot of drama. I think today I'm going to potentially put a bunch of horses' lives at risk because I'm going to spread false information. Sounds like a thing to do today. I don't know. I don't know what makes people do that. And frankly, I don't really care at this point. Like, 3 years ago, when stuff like this would happen, I would be like having a meltdown because I cared. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And today I'm like, don't care. Just completely, horse was tested and that's all that mattered to me. Like, for me, at this point in my life, 30 years old, been doing this for now almost going on 4 years, I just worry about facts. Not misconstrued facts either, like black and white facts. And the facts are, the horse raced on the 29th. A filly that was in the receiving barn that raced the same night, 5 days later, did test positive for the non-neurological strain. She had gone from the receiving barn to the paddock, to the test barn, to other barns. They are unsure of where she picked it up at. With that being said, the other 48 horses that were in the barn that night are not being tested. I keep I'm still wet from hot yoga and I keep sliding off the chair. So what we're running into is they're not testing the other 48 horses that were in that barn. The only reason he is being tested is just because the women did kind of create such a stink that it was just better to just test him, know that he's negative, because we assumed, like dumbasses, that by testing him, proving that he's negative, and putting him through the 10-day quarantine process, that it would pretty much debunk any of their drama and just kind of lay it to rest. Unfortunately, all that it did was allow them a way to be like, see, they tested him. We told you there was a problem. The reason he was tested was just to lay everybody's mind to rest that he is not a horse that is potentially of harm. He is not a horse that was potentially infected. He just happened to be at the racetrack one night. One horse that was in the barn with him 5 days later tested positive. They are not testing the other 48 horses from the receiving barn. They did not test any horses at the training center that he came from. They have not tested any of the horses from the sale barn. So you guys have to understand that I truly believe that if the state thought that this horse was a danger, they would contact the sale barn, contact every buyer that bought horses at the sale barn, and they would also turn around and test the training center that this horse came from. I mean, if that was, it would give a better rep to you doing that. Yeah, we just, here's the thing, like, you'll buy a horse from sale barns, and 1 or 2 days later, you'll have one with strangles. I mean, this happens. We've always been very honest about this. When we get a horse with strangles, we have a set of pins that are on concrete in the back. Those concrete slab pins are where we keep strangles horses. Those concrete slabs are where we keep thoroughbreds. The reason we put the thoroughbreds back there, like the strangles pins are on one side, the thoroughbred pins are on the other, is because when horses are sick, that can get in the ground, and on those concrete slabs, you can bleach the slabs and completely disinfect the area. So if you have a horse with strangles right here, you can isolate him, you can bleach the ground he stands on, you can just completely isolate the incident to that one horse, and then you basically watch everything else and hope that nothing else, you know, exhibits symptoms. If they do, you remove them and put them there. It's also why we tell people when you receive a horse from the kill pen, lots of things can lay dormant for up to 14 days. So from the moment you receive your horse, it's very important. It's very important to quarantine your horses. Keep them in an isolated area for no less than 14 days. 30 days is really honestly your best bet, because there have been times that up to 21 days after leaving the kill pen, a horse has gotten sick. At that point, is it sickness from the kill pen, or is it just sickness in general? Don't know. But here's the deal. If they're quarantined for 30 days, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So quarantine your horses for 30 days. We highly recommend it. We have always told people, when you receive a horse, 30 days of quarantine. And it's not the kill pen's fault. It's not the sell barn's fault, and it's not the racetrack's fault. Anytime large numbers of horses gather somewhere, you are going to run into the potential of there being germs, bacteria, diseases, whatever. And we're not going to shy away from that. We're not going to lead people to believe that you can buy a horse from the kill pen and not have to do your due diligence as an owner. There are just steps that you should take when you purchase a horse from auction, from the racetrack, from the kill pen, or a horse that's been exposed to shows. I mean, like I said, every single year after the AQHA World Show, the Reining World, and then the BFA, the Barrel Futurities of America, lots of people that are in those industries will tell you they come home with horses that are plagued with upper respiratory infections that take 30 days to fight, and it's just because there's been potentially 10 to 15,000 horses at that fairgrounds in a 90-day period. And so with that, with it just going from the AQHA World Show to the Reining World to the Barrel Futurities of America, lots of horses gather in one place. It happens. So if you're going to purchase a horse from a kill pen, you need to make sure that you have a quarantine area. You need to make sure that you give Exceed no less than twice, possibly 3 times. That's just the most important thing that you can do. A few days. Yeah, but here's the thing about a cold. When you purchase a horse from the kill pen, their immune system has already been compromised, and then you haul them. So there is a pretty good chance that they can contract shipping fever, which has nothing to do with the kill pen. A lot of privately sold animals can get shipping fever. This ring light makes my nose itch and run. It just, I think the light, like I potentially feel like I need to sneeze, so just forgive me. The other day, some lady was like, "You need to stop touching your nose." And I'm like, "Then you sit in front of the ring light." It makes my nose itch. So when you buy a horse from the kill pen, 30 days quarantine minimum. Give Exceed no less than twice. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic. If you give it 1 to 3 times, 5 days apart. It has a 5-day lifespan. So if you purchase a horse out of the kill pen, have the vet give the horse the Exceed when they pull the Coggins, like right there. And if your horse is still there the following week when he comes back on Wednesday, have him give a second shot. It's the best investment you will spend. So give the Exceed. Once you get your horse home, you need to have your horse on the Animal Element Detox and the Immune Booster. Here's the deal. The Immune Booster has lysine in it. All of the horses out there currently receive lysine. Lysine is a known cure and prevention for herpes. Google it. It is a known fact. So I really don't worry too much about the horses at the kill pen getting EHV1 or being a horse that's going to potentially be an issue, because in the grain dust, they do add lysine into that. Please Google lysine. Please check into lysine. Please see that the horses at the kill pen are eating lysine. The lysine, if you want to put your horse on lysine, I highly recommend it. I feed the Animal Element Detox. I also feed my personal horse's Nutrac and the Immune Booster. I believe it's now called Body Booster. The Body Booster is lysine and 309. Every horse should be on that, especially with the amount of outbreaks of EHV1 that have been all over the U.S. lately. I mean, we've seen them from Chicago. We've seen them El Paso, New Orleans. I mean, we've seen outbreaks of EHV1 all across the U.S., in California and in Florida, not only in racehorses but also in performance horses. So how could you not just feed lysine knowing that it's one of the most natural preventatives and treatments for herpes on the market? Why would you not do that? Why would you not go to animalelement.com and buy that product for your horses knowing that you're staying head and shoulders ahead? The horses at the kill pen get it. We just buy the bags and layer it across the top of the grain dust. That's the best thing we can do. So like I said, I can't speak for other kill pens. I don't think any kill pen is like a good situation for a horse. I actually think they're kind of like being in prison. It's the same as going to prison. A lot of these horses don't deserve that. Obviously some kill pens are better than others. Some kill pens obviously take better care of the horses than others, and some of them are run by better individuals than others. I think the kill pen gets a bad name and catches a lot of flack for the actions of other pens, and they're not all the same. With that being said, if you don't like Thompson Horse Lot, if you don't like me, if you think it's all bullshit, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Like, get out of the group, go find something else to do with your day. I don't know what else to tell these people. You are not helping anybody by sitting online, taking facts and manipulating them into something they're not. You're not helping anybody. You're actually making yourself look really stupid. And anybody that is dumb enough to actually like believe what you say and follow you looks pretty stupid too. Because it's in black and white. If that horse was in any way potentially going to be a danger, they would have either euthanized him or directly shipped him. That's just the truth. So, at this point, the horse has been tested. He's tested negative. The horse is currently in a 10-day quarantine, having his temperature taken twice a day just to make sure. I mean, by God, I would rather do this and go above and beyond and be able to say, told you so, than to ever be in the position that we put somebody else's horses in jeopardy. My dad trains racehorses. My dad's a wonderful person, but because of my dad and because of the upbringing that I had, I respect horsemen, all horsemen. I respect the trainers. My heart absolutely breaks for them. We received a phone call this morning from a trainer who actually wants to sell all of his thoroughbreds to the kill pen and be done with it because he can't currently make a living because he can't run. So, yes, the horse does have a home. The girl that bought him has been great to deal with. She paid for him. She's being patient through the quarantine process. As soon as the state lifts his quarantine, they're going to move him to a private facility, and at that point he will be double tested negative. You know, there will be absolutely no way on God's green earth that horse will be leaving with any potential to cause any issue further. So, don't harass her. Don't harass the place she takes him to. I mean, honestly, the other option is to just ship the horse to slaughter. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like, if it's going to be an issue and people are going to continue to harass her, harass the place she takes him to, that's the other option, is to just ship him to slaughter. And I feel like if the horse is absolutely not, for sure, guaranteed, been tested negative, why do that to him? What do know is Kentucky is not allowing horses from Louisiana at the tracks or training centers. Okay. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything else. Horses at the pens can get health certificates into Kentucky. They can also get health certificates into Florida because there's never been, there has not been a horse test positive at the pens. Just because a horse came there that potentially crossed paths with a horse 3 weeks ago that tested positive weeks later, it's kind of like me saying, well, you passed a lady in Walmart that had, hepatitis C. Think we should quarantine you. Think we should test you. And you go, oh my gosh, okay, test me because I just would rather know than wonder. And then people going, she for sure is a carrier. That it just doesn't, none of that makes sense. Like, just because you come in contact or you're around somebody that has contracted something doesn't mean that you have it. That's not how disease works. It's no different than regular herpes. It's no different than hepatitis. I mean, these things are contracted because the horses came in contact and swapped bodily fluids and things of that nature. So just because you were in the same store as somebody that had a disease doesn't mean you're going to have it. So anyway, Kentucky will allow horses from the pens. So will Florida. There's not going to be an issue there, just simply because there's not been any reason to believe that anything at the pens could be a carrier or potentially spread disease. So, don't really know what to tell y'all other than, man, women online can take something that is not really an issue and turn it into something and then just not let it die. Like, just, I mean, talk about beating a dead horse. Pun intended. Like, y'all just don't even know. I mean, I don't know. I think that they think in a way that they're, like, upsetting us, or they're, like, causing us distress, and, like, currently just don't care either way. Side question, what do you use to exfoliate your legs? The apricot scrub isn't working for me. See, I love this. This is why I love this group. So, recently, I bought an exfoliating mitt. And I just buy, like, I think the last one I got was a jojoba bean exfoliator. And I bought, like, this glove, and I just exfoliate my legs really good with that glove. I tell you where I bought the glove. I bought it from Loving Tan. I don't like to self-tan. I go and get a spray tan. I don't try to do it myself. I'm not, like, that coordinated, and, like, I end up with, like, doo-doo brown marks from me being ridiculously untalented at tanning myself. So, I just went to Loving Tan and bought their exfoliating mitt. It's like $29. And I actually bought their bronzing, like, lotion. I love it. But anyway, I don't have their self-tanner, but I noticed on there that if you place an order and you use a code, you can get an exfoliating mitt for free. So, anyway. Yes, so I've gotten 6 inbox messages since doing this video of people that are like, I'm over keyboard warriors, they're attacking me. So let me just tell you guys something. These women online crave attention, and the very best thing you can do is block them. Like, I have just got to where I go directly to the source of wherever the drama comes from, and I block them. I don't even see any of it. That's so funny. People are like, did you see this? I don't see any of it unless you screenshot it to me, because I don't care. I've learned one thing. If there's a real issue, the state will call. If there is a real issue, we will be notified. So if I went off of all of the facts that aren't real facts based on what keyboard warriors say, I would spend every day trying to track down the truth. So I just don't. Like, I've learned one thing in the last year, and the last year has shown me, if there's an issue, the state will call. Just like this, these women bombarded the state called. The state called and said, hey, you purchased a horse, it ran on December 29th. A filly that ran the same night on December 4th tested positive. These women are really, 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 really bombarding us. I mean, hundreds of emails, hundreds of phone calls, and it's from the same 5 people, just over and 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 over, like one time wasn't enough. So, we would like to test him just to lay this to rest. Is this going to be a problem? Not a problem. The state was out there 2 hours later. Like, that's how the state works. It wasn't like 2 weeks later. 2 hours. They were there, tested him, saw where he was at, quarantined where he was, and everything around him within, like, 90 feet around him and the horses that he was pinned with. The horses he was pinned with are currently under quarantine. They didn't test those horses because until he tests positive, there's no need to test any of them. So, that was Thursday. It was Thursday. So, tomorrow it will be, today's 7 days, tomorrow will be 8 days. So, for 10 days past their first visit, the horse has to stay in isolation. He also has to have his temperature taken 2 times a day, and if it spikes over 102, I believe they have to be notified. And if it spikes over 103, I believe that's when they will actually make measures to do something. Currently, he's been in that like 100 point something range. So nothing to be, like, I think a horse is normal between like 99.5 and 101.5 is what they said. So anything to 103 though is probably not bad. Horses that potentially have a real issue get over 103 is what we were told. Don't know, just know that he gets his temperature taken twice a day, and the temperatures are immediately like called in to the state upon them being taken. And by God, don't be late, because they'll be calling your phone wanting to know where that afternoon temperature is. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's done that. But yeah. So my suggestion to all 31,900 and something of you in this group is, if what you like is drama, this is not the group for you. You can leave here. You can go join one of the hate groups. They thrive on drama. They thrive on where I spend my money. They thrive on what I eat. They thrive on the clothes I buy. They thrive on the size of my ass. They thrive, literally, I'm a fat ass. I get told that all the time by them. They thrive on everything that just doesn't even mean anything. Like, who gives a shit what I spend my money on? Like, go spend your money on something. They thrive on what kind of shoes I buy. Current situation, barefoot, but I do have champagne pop-colored toenails, so I'm loving it. I'm absolutely probably one of the most high-maintenance people in America, and not even because I, like, have to be. I genuinely love being a female. I don't know, some of you guys that are watching this are like, but I'm serious, I absolutely, they thrive on everything but thrive. Caitlin, that is so true. I wish those women would take thrive, they would feel better. I mean, let me tell you guys something. The reason that I'm high maintenance is because I know I get one life. I'm going to enjoy it. I've been through a lot of drama with these people. And you know what? I love being a woman. I love exfoliating my legs, as somebody mentioned in this feed about like, hey, what exfoliation do you use? Let me tell you, I love being a woman. I love everything about it, from my long hair to makeup to my Mercedes. I love it. And it has nothing to do with like being, I mean, I'm thankful. Like, God has blessed me. I love my stuff. But those women spend their entire day, like, tracking my purchases. Where am I eating? What am I doing? Where did she buy those shoes at? What did she pay for those shoes? Like, I'm over it. If you want to know, just inbox me. I'll tell you. I've been at hot yoga this morning. And current situation, have a brand new yoga mat in my back seat because I needed a new one because I thought it was beautiful. I used a red one through winter, and now that like Christmas season's over, I felt like I needed like bright and funky. And I also love these shirts. This one says, "Live Happy." So, that's my life in a nutshell. I don't know what to tell them other than they spend a lot of time. They do. Like, I tell you what, they are thirsty, and they spend a lot of time worried about what I'm doing. Thank you. My hair is a mess. Like, where I was at hot yoga, where I laid on the hot yoga mat, the curls are like, y'all would not believe how long my hair is. Let's just do this. Let's show you, in case y'all didn't know. That's how long my hair is. And it's curled. So, current situation. And people ask all the time. I love it. I get my shirts from, hold on. I can tell you because I order a lot of them. They come from this company. Live Happy and Natural Life. It's the Live Happy brand by Natural Life, and Natural Life has a website. So, let me just tell you. My hair is this thick, naturally, and I love it every day. Every day, one of the people in the hate group talks about my nasty hair extensions. And to be quite honest, I wish I could take some of this hair out, because if I could, it would be way easier to deal with. If I could like just unsnap, this hair and take it out, my life would be easier, but I can't. It's actually all mine, every single strand of it. But yeah, I mean, it's just so funny. Like, they talk about my fake eyelashes. They talk about my hair extensions that don't exist. I mean, sometimes I just wonder, like, what exactly has gone so wrong in their life that that is what they do. Like, that's what they do. That's what they do, is get up and worry with me. I mean, that literally is a thing. And I don't know. I hate it because I feel like happy people don't do that. I feel like people that love their life and are enjoying life, they don't do that. They don't do those kind of things. I don't do those kind of things. But anyway, the horses just need to find homes. The horses that are listed on the page are in no way, shape, or form in danger. Please share the horses. Please help them find homes. I don't really know. I don't know. I guess my next thing is, like, what exactly do they think that they're accomplishing? Like, if they win, what are they trying to win? Because I'm confused. The horses suffer no matter what. Even if slaughter export was shut down again, horses just end up starving to death in people's backyards. Like, don't know what exactly they're trying to accomplish. Unsure of their tactics, their motives, and what it is that they want. If anybody can actually explain in this video below what it is that the hate groups actually want, because I'll tell you this, and I wish somebody would screenshot this part of the video and send it to them. As hate groups, you have a lot of things to say, but you've never one time contacted me with suggestions. I'm open. So if you have suggestions as to things that you feel need to be implemented to make the transfer of horses from the kill pen to the regular world go smoother, please let me know. Because I feel like the buyer's guide that I have placed in action pretty much warns everybody of all of the things that could potentially go wrong. So I don't feel like we're doing anything wrong, but there is so much hate going on that I really honestly feel like if you hate it that much, offer suggestions. Like, stop attacking, use that brain that you're currently using for negative for something positive. So you guys can tell them, feel free to contact me, unblock me, or if you're blocked, you can probably contact the page, because there are a lot of people I have blocked just because I can't handle all of the negative nonstop. I just block them. But if you feel like it's not being run properly, or if you feel like it's that bad, offer suggestions. It's not like Gary and Jacob are the Stanleys. Like, they're not gonna physically attack you. They're not gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. Like, if you have legitimate concerns, we had one lady that said, she sent a message and she was like, you know, with the season change, I just want to, you know, bring it to your attention that salt blocks really help horses to maintain their electrolytes so that they keep drinking through the season changes. The following morning, Gary had his wife Michelle drive to Tractor Supply and buy 22 red salt licks. 20, and even people said, oh wow, I see salt licks in the photographs. Yes, 22 of them to be exact. Because Gary said, oh, if I can put the salt licks out and the horses will lick them and keep drinking and, you know, potentially not colic, that's better. So now they have salt licks in every pen. So if you have genuine suggestions, or if you want to, I've told people, if you don't like the way that the kill pen is being run, volunteer your time. If you think the kill pen needs to be cleaner, hire some people and go out there and clean it. Like, there's only so much money, there's only so much time, and there's only so many employees. They're open to suggestions. We had another lady probably a year ago, and she said, I really want to see the horses bathed and clean in the videos. Is there, if I send, so she sent like some bathing utensils and a case of shampoo. And you know what? Until the shampoo ran out, every horse that was videoed was bathed. I bet you guys remember that. They were all like bathed and shiny and didn't have mud on their legs, and they looked great. They looked great. So it's really more or less, right now with the weather, you can't bathe them, but yeah, I mean, we've had people, like, we had a girl come out one time, for a little while, and she came out for a little while and volunteered a little bit, yes. Yeah, I mean, just here's the thing about the kill pin. Gary and Jacob aren't out there abusing dogs, and they're not out there, like, being disrespectful to women. And so, here's the thing about the kill pin. Unlike the other kill pins, you are welcome out there. You're welcome out there and invited. You're not welcome out there. What we don't like is, we have had situations to where people have come out and, like, snuck out and taken photos and then photoshopped them. Literally photoshopped them into something that they weren't. I have seen photoshopped photos of the pins, and somebody photoshopped a pile of dead, burned horses. Why would the kill pin have a pile of dead, burned horses? Anybody? Then we have people like that rescue group that took the video of the mare that was sedated and said that they just let her lay there for days and suffer. And that's not the truth. Like, here's another problem is that at the kill pin, there are bad things that happen. When you get that many horses in one location, sometimes things go awry. And bad things happen. But the thing is, there's always a truth to it, and you can talk about it and discuss it and openly, as a group, try to debunk whatever rumors are out there. But the problem is, people spread rumors to pull at heartstrings to get attention, to get donations. And I don't agree with that. I watched that rescue post that video, and they were posting, please donate to us now so we can get these horses before the kill pin does. The thing about it is, they didn't tell the truth. They didn't tell the truth. Yes, Amber's right. Just read the buyer's guide, be involved. But Thompson Horse Salon is always welcome to suggestions. If you are currently one of the members of a hate group and you're in there because you hate the way that things are run, and if you want to use your time to do something, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to give suggestions. I mean, that's the truth. Just give suggestions. If you want to write an email, it can go to longlivecowtraders@yahoo.com, or you can send it to sandersmichelletera@gmail.com. Either one of us will respond to you. It's not a problem. I mean, always open to suggestions. I mean, it's a business. So anytime you have a business that's dealing with 1,000 or more people a year, you're going to run into situations that don't go as planned. You're going to run into situations that it's a new issue that you've not had in the past, and you don't know exactly how to take care of it, that kind of thing. So just whatever you guys feel is a reasonable suggestion, they're open. Just, there you go. So there you go. So, don't know what else to tell y'all. Current situation is nobody's alarmed or concerned on our end. The next situation is that if you have suggestions, just email them. You don't have to sit online and bash 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 to get something done. You can be a part of the solution, which is to actually join hands with the kill pin and try to rehome the horses and to educate buyers so that they know what to expect. That's the biggest thing I can tell you, is the issues we have are due to lack of knowledge on the buyer's part. They're not horrible people. Some of them are pretty shitty people, but very few. I mean, I would say 1 in 100 of them, I think to myself, God, I don't know where this person came from, but I wish they would go back. The other 99 people are great. Great. So, I mean, I have lifelong friends that I will never, ever, 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 ever stop being friends with because of this group. Some of the most amazing women that breathe air are members of this group. Just the most passionate, loving, caring, just compassionate, awesome human beings. And I feel like you guys should get to know each other better. I feel like Double S is more than just a horse rehoming group. It's why I posted the post about direct sales networks. I encourage you guys to support each other. If you, I use Monet, which is a hair, like my hair is gorgeous and I love it and it's healthy and it's long, and everybody knows I take Thrive and I take Form, which is another product by Lavelle, and that makes my hair grow really fast, but the ends of my hair are as thick as the top of my hair because of the health of the outside. I keep the outside healthy, and it's from a direct sales company, and somebody in the group sells it. I mean, I want you guys to support each other. I want us all to be friends, and if you have suggestions, email them. I mean, I want for you guys to be able to help if you feel like, okay, I have no idea. I just got like the longest message I've ever seen. I have no idea. That message is like this long. Be patient with me. I do not have the patience to read that. At all. At all. So anyway, you guys can, oh, when I started taking Thrive, I can add any, yes. Okay. So when I started taking Thrive, all of the biotin and vitamins in it increased my circulation, and my hair grows like almost 1.5 inches a month, like this much. Like, I literally cut 6 inches off of it 3 months ago, and it's longer today than it was when I cut it. I cut 6 inches off of it, and it's longer today than it was then, and it was just a couple months ago. So, grows like crazy, and like I said, it's all mine. I do feel like that's funny. I see on one of the hate groups right now that somebody just screenshotted where they're talking about my hair extensions. Current situation, no tracks, just so y'all know. Is that not funny that I'm like, here, let's just debunk all the rumors today. My boobs are real too. That's another thing they talk about, is my big fake boobs. I wish they were fake. I would get rid of them, but I'm just telling you, I've read it all. I literally have fake boobs, fake hair. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do at this point. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll probably come back and do a live video after 5 o'clock for all the people that are at work today, and I'll leave that video up actually regarding this. But current situation, nobody, the regular Thrive will, so yes, the regular Thrive, just the 3 steps. The capsules have all the vitamins in it that help increase your circulation. The shakes have tons of biotin and tons of mineral, and I'm just telling you. So, probably around 5, I'll do another video, like later tonight for the people that are at work. I'll leave it up. I'm probably going to take this one down because we've discussed everything except for what it was intended for. But anyway, just so y'all know, nobody's worried about this horse. He's shown no symptoms of having any issues. But I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.